Hi, welcome to your core class. So let's get this energy going. Let's become more spirited, more motivated by waking up this area. It gets stagnant super easily, and you can kind of check in with your digestion to see what's happening. Sometimes when our digestion is stagnant, it also leads to a stagnant mood. So just something to think about. But today we're going to start in downward dog. We're going to do a little downward dog to plank action, going back and forth to really use that core. Because when you're in plank and you have to pull back to downward dog, all you're doing is lifting up your hips. And so that's activating the core. You're lifting up the hips, activating the core to pull yourself back to downward dog. After we do some plank and downward dog, we're going to come onto our bellies. We're going to do a little back bend in sphinx pose, which will prep us to go into forearm plank. And forearm plank, it's going to help us strengthen our shoulder girdle, and it's also going to get our core nice and strong. So let's get going on this quick class. Let's come down onto all fours. I want you to place your hands under your shoulders, and then I want you to stretch your legs out, coming into plank. So the crown of your head is facing towards the wall in front of you. You're pulling the belly up and back towards your spine. Your feet are together. You can press your heels out towards the wall behind you. And then I want you to take your knees, take them about 3 inches off the ground, and then straighten your legs. And you're still breathing. Now take an inhale. On the exhale, lift up through your belly, bringing yourself back to downward dog. If you need to separate your feet a little bit, that's fine. And then inhale, I want you to lift the spine up and over, coming into plank. Notice how I'm not moving my body. I'm not moving my feet, my hands. Now on the exhale, I'm going to lift up through my belly and my hips and bring my body back to downward dog. And then I'm going to inhale up and over to plank. And exhale up and back to downward dog. Let's do 5 more. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more times. Inhale. Pull on that core, lifting up and back. And inhale. And bring it up and back to downward dog. Now take an inhale, bring it back over to plank, and then bring your knees down and your chest and your forehead, and then roll the forehead back up and slide your arms out in front of you, coming into sphinx. Elbows are under the shoulders, forearms are flat to the mat. You're pressing your hands into your mat. Your gaze is soft out in front of you. And we're going to just gently move our hips and our legs, removing any of that tension in our lower body. And then I want you to hold still as you lengthen through your spine. And just breathe in and out through the nose. Watch the breath as it flows down through your belly. Feel the strengthening in your back. Keep pressing those forearms into the earth, getting nice and strong, and your arms and your shoulders. And now I want you to take your gaze down. I want you to interlace your fingers, press your forearms into the mat, and then bring your legs together. Tuck your toes. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, press your arms into the mat. Lift up through the core to come into forearm plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale the hips back down. Hands come out in front of you, back into sphinx. Steady your breath. We're going to do 2 more sets of forearm plank. So go ahead and interlace those fingers, bring the legs together, tuck the toes, press into the forearms, bring it up to forearm plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down to sphinx. Inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth or the nose, whichever is accessible to you right now. If you're building up a lot of heat, no matter where you're at in your practice, you want to exhale through the mouth if you need to release heat. All right, interlace the fingers, bring the legs together, tuck the toes, press into the forearms, lift up through the core for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. Go ahead and bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. You can rest your cheek on the mat. Relax your arms by your sides. We got one more pose we're going to go into. We're going to do a little side plank action. So go ahead and bring your arms back up into Sphinx. And this time we're going to do forearm side plank. So you can interlace your fingers or you can keep your hands separate. Bring those feet together. And then tuck your toes, push into the forearms, come into forearm plank. Now turn your feet so the sides of your feet are on the mat. You're pressing your right forearm into the mat and you're lifting your arm up to the sky. Keep lifting through the side. We tend to want to dip right there in our hips. If that's too much, just bring that right leg down, bending that right knee. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring that left arm back down and release everything down. All right. Take an inhale. Open the mouth. Exhale it out. Interlace those fingers. Legs together. Tuck the toes. Press up into forearm plank. Now turn the feet to the left. So you're on the outsides of your feet, pressing into this left forearm. You can inhale the right arm up. And once again, if you need to come down onto your knee on that left knee, that's fine. Or you can keep your feet together and keep pressing into that left forearm. Keep lifting up through the side waist of the body for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and come back down to forearm plank and then exhale everything all the way down. Rest your head on your cheek. And breathe in and out through the nose or the mouth. Then bring your hands up by your ribs. Push up and back, coming into child's pose. Toes together, knees out to the sides. Forehead comes down to the mat. You can walk your arms out in front of you or have them out to your sides. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. And inhale. Open the mouth and exhale. And inhale. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Press into the hands, pull your body up to the table. You can come into a seated position to close out the class. Bring your hands to heart center. Set your intention for how you want to feel during the next part of your day. Breathe into that. Feel it clear down to your bones. Visualize it in your mind's eye. Bring a little smile to your lips. Seeing yourself in action the way you want to feel, the way you want to be. Knowing it's possible. Let's take a nice deep inhale together. Open the mouth, let it go. Namaste.